All right, the number one thing you need to be successful is having the right mindset, and we're going to talk about it during this video, so please watch. Okay, everybody, Stephen Key here, and I have the famous April Mitchell. April, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me, Stephen. It's been a little bit, so it's great to be chatting with you again.
Well, you're doing such a great job out there licensing ideas and leading the industry and winning awards. I mean, you're just doing it all. And I thought it's time to have you back on to talk about how are you juggling everything. So let's start at the very beginning. What is happening now for you? Do you have any new announcements? Because I know you're licensing ideas right and left. So what's going on?
Well, I've licensed a handful this year will be coming out next year, but my big announcement, which I can't announce too much yet, is I am going to be self-publishing a game for the first time. And it will be coming out spring of 2026. So that's my new thing that I'm trying out because I love to learn, I love to teach, I love to learn, and that's something I haven't done. So I'm starting small, or I would say, or inexpensive with a card game, right? No
Okay.
molds, nothing crazy, but a small card game that's not going to be expensive to ship out and whatnot. And I'm still working on my game plan and still working on everything, but I've been play testing. I have an artist, like the artwork's looking amazing. So I've actually taken it to a game event, PAX Unplugged, where I got a table to in a section called Unpub. So it's
Okay.
unpublished games where you can get random people just to come and play test your game. So I'm hopeful to get lots of different viewpoints and thoughts and take it out into the whole world before I actually get it for retail. So I'm excited about that.
Well, that's a change. Let's talk
Yeah.
about that change for just a minute. You've been licensing ideas in the toy
Mhm.
game industry, and you've been very successful at doing that. But this is kind of dipping your toe in another area. So why? I understand cards because the
Yeah.
cost and some of the other things that really make it simple to do here. But why take that chance? Because it's all about creating. Well, it's all about selling it, right? It's all
It,
about doing all the heavy lifting, all the manufacturing, the
ex-
creating demand, all the other stuff that licensing you don't really have to do. So
I
why is the
know.
change?
I know it's so crazy. And I love licensing and I will continue to license. I'm pitching at the same event to license. But I feel like it's something I need to do because with licensing we don't have that control. We don't get to make those final decisions, which is part of what I love about licensing, right? That I don't have the financial responsibility. I'm not the one selling it and all of that. But sometimes I wonder, well, what if I did? What if I was in charge of it? Would it change things? And again, I love learning, so I just thought, I want to just dip my toe, see how it goes. It's a card game. I'm not like starting a whole publishing company and doing like 5 games at once or anything, but just something small to say, like, I took this from literally idea all the way to market just to see. But I also feel like this experience is going to help me be a better designer and understand more of the process when I'm licensing. Will understand, the price
Okay.
points better. I'll understand just the whole process better. I'm not saying it's for everyone. And look at how many games I licensed before I'm going this route. But I am excited about it.
No, I think you're smart. I think if you're going to be in this world of innovation, you should do both,
Mhm.
right? And at different levels and understand it so you know exactly where you want to play. Maybe you want to play them both, and maybe you go, "Hey, I don't like this. I want to jump back into licensing." You're like, "Hey, I want full control. Forget it. I want to launch myself." Okay, all right. I want to talk about one of your superpowers
Okay.
because I talk about it all the time. You probably don't even know that, but I talk about you all the time about a superpower. You have the ability to contact on LinkedIn. It looks like all the people you want to work with, potentially you want to work with, or you're currently working with,
Mhm.
and you watch what they post and you post some really thoughtful comments,
Mm.
right? It seems like I've watched you build relationships online for a long time now, and you're recognized by that, and people, you contribute to the conversation, but you just don't say thumbs up or, great job. No, you look at it a little bit deeper. Can you explain that superpower? Because I think that has helped you become so welcomed in the industry. Am I right or wrong on that?
For sure. Well, no, it building relationships definitely has, and I think it's figuring out how can you connect with someone, right? It's not just saying I have something for you, but how can you connect with them? Sometimes it's on a personal level, sometimes it's on a business level, right? I think people, and I think we all want to feel heard, and that we're not just a number, or we're not just a name, or like a level in the company, right? That we all are real people. And so I think it's important to connect with people on different levels whenever possible. So I'm just being my true self. And I mean, what would I want to hear? I appreciate it. And those posts where people congratulate us, I always am so thankful, and I try to say thank you to everyone. But it's hard, but it's also those posts that, dive deeper, where you get to give insight or thought. And people are watching, people are listening. So even if they don't comment on our
Okay.
post, right, you might get an email later, or they might mention something in a Zoom call, in the future. So I think, anytime we can just establish that relationship, but also grow it in any way is great. And I'll tell you, LinkedIn has always been my favorite place. I actually was just on a panel at a women's entrepreneur summit, and I was I was hammering, LinkedIn and the importance of LinkedIn. And I will say
Okay.
too, even more so, I've been reaching out to companies on Instagram. And I'm not
Mm,
huge in Instagram yet. I'm trying to be regular at posting. It's a different audience. What I post is different on there. But the game companies specifically are out there. They're posting on their Instagrams and TikToks. And so people
oh,
are watching and they're responding. And so because of that, I've been able to pitch to other companies I hadn't before, because I'm seeing new games come out,
okay.
follow this person, follow that person. And oh, wow, I have something that might be a fit. So I think,
Okay.
in all aspects of social media, it's being where we figuring out where we need to be, and then
Okay.
following these people until we have something to say, right? Something to comment, something to like,
Okay.
reach out, and they'll look at you back, right? So they're going to look at your profile, they're going to look to say what is she posting about, or what are they commenting on, which is important. So, you have to really think about how people are perceiving you, right? So
Okay.
your reputation and other relationships are
Very.
important, and people can see that. They can see that online.
It's obvious you do a really good job with that. All right, let's jump over to TikTok Shop. I know you're probably looking at that. I think it's like the new TRTV. I think someone said that the other day. I think it is. Are you considering playing over there with your new card game?
Not yet. I will tell you, I'm not even on TikTok. So I know it's the place to be, but baby steps, like people, when I'm realizing you have to do what you do well, and LinkedIn is what I do well, but also once I start selling and want to promote, I'm going to
Yeah.
have to probably get there, but I'm starting an Instagram. And I think it's
Okay.
important to find out who are the influencers, who are the people that do game reviews. And so I've been trying to follow those people right now to see who would be a good fit to review my game in the future? Who could I send my game to? And I think that's helpful as well.
You guys, you heard a great tip there. She's planning way ahead, building those relationships. So when she launches, everything's set. Remember that tip. It's really, really important. You got to think way ahead. Okay, so you're licensing a lot of ideas right now. That and the game industry is really a tough one. So
Yeah.
why are you doing it, and why are other people struggling?
Well, I think, and it's something we've talked about a little bit before, Stephen, is mindset is huge. I am totally transparent that I used to suffer from depression and anxiety. And I mean, someone who already has those, maybe they're not thinking very highly of themselves, or they're anxious to make a phone call. It's extra hard to to not only put yourself out there, but then to get that rejection. It's hard, and you can take it personal. Anyone can, no matter what's going on in their life. And so I had to learn to not take it personal. I had to understand that they're not rejecting me, right? It's my product's not a fit for them. It might not be just a fit for them at that time too. Maybe it'll be fit later down the road. But I also then had to train my mind because I didn't feel like, well, one, I didn't believe in myself and I didn't believe in my product. And I didn't know really if I was even worthy of success. And I
Okay.
think sometimes people are afraid of failure, but I was afraid of success. What would happen if I did actually succeed? Which seems odd, I know,
Okay.
but it's things we don't think about of like what's to the root of our problem in our mindset. So if you're always having these negative thoughts, or oh, they're probably not going to like it, or oh, this is too many, or just whatever it may be, you're in that cycle of that negative thought pattern. And I had to learn to switch myself and put myself in that positive mindset. So I really basically had to retrain my
Okay.
brain. And it takes time and it's a daily thing. And it's like not only daily, but multiple times during the day that I might have to do something or say something. So things like, well, learning from, I'm sure you're familiar with Napoleon Hill. Thoughts become things, right? And so we don't
Mhm.
believe what's true, we believe what we're constantly told. And so if you are constantly saying negative things, or you're getting all these emails that your product's no good or not a fit, that's what
Okay.
you're hearing. So then you have to retrain your brain. So something that I say every day for myself, which seems so crazy, but I say everything is working in my favor.
Oh,
And I'll
okay.
repeat that several times during the day, even if even if I get a email that I was bummed about, or
Okay.
something doesn't seem to work out, but I have to have that thought process that everything is working in my favor. And
Okay.
so I do meditations, I practice gratitude, I journal, I do I am statements, just all these different things that I've tried and had to try different things to figure out what works with me. But I have a very specific
Uh,
routine and
okay.
habits that I do daily that have helped me get to where I am. And I'm still learning and I'm still growing. But I think the main thing with all of that I had to say is really personal growth and development
Okay.
will help you be successful in product development or whatever someone does in life. Because as I grew as a person, as I had belief in myself and faith in myself and my purpose and what I was doing, then things slowly started to fall into place, right? Because your confidence grows. I know I
Okay.
belong here. I don't question, am I doing the right thing? Should I quit now? No, I'm here for a reason and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I keep going, because how often do we want to quit? And that goes to back to part of your question is, what do people need to do differently? They need to stop quitting so early, right? Because so many people, they throw in the towel and they have an amazing product. And I saw that so much when I coached with you at InventRight, was just there were so many products that should have been licensed. However, the person gave up too soon.
So soon. What is the first thing you do in the morning?
The first thing I do is I think of at least 10 to 20 things I'm grateful for. And then I
Okay.
say my prayers, because gratitude, so frequency is really important. Everything has a
Mm.
frequency, and the highest frequency emotions are gratitude, joy, love, and appreciation. So if the
Okay.
first thing in the morning and the last thing we do at the end of the day is being thankful and feeling the
Oh,
emotions of joy, the more we are in those emotions, the more they'll become repetitive throughout the day. And so we
oh,
could stop, no matter what we're doing, we can get an email that we would consider bad and feel those emotions, but then also turn around and feel the opposite, like feel joy, feel gratitude. And now
okay.
you're back up to where you were instead of being down all day. And so,
Yeah.
multiple times during the day, I'll practice those high frequency emotions to try to keep me in that
Oh,
cycle of
nice.
high frequency
Good.
emotions. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Let's talk about the distribution of that card game. You're going to do it yourself. Do you have any other types of plans of how to conquer the world with this?
Yes. So I am only interested in being in charge of the USA because I think that's all I can handle with everything else I got going on. But because I have already built up relationships with so many other countries around the world, my goal is to pitch them my game and see if they're interested in distributing it. Whether it be several different companies, depending on
Okay.
worldwide. rights, or if there's a company who really gets everywhere and they want to take everywhere but the US, I will gladly be having chats with them. So I'm really excited about that. So I'll be pitching it almost as if
Okay.
I'm pitching a license to other companies, because if I can get distribution, great. If that
Sure.
doesn't work out, but I can license it everywhere else but the US, but I just want to be in charge of the US because I feel like that's what I can handle right now.
That that's a really great tip because I don't think people realize that you can take a piece of it, carve it out that
Mhm.
you want to do, and maybe license it to other people. I think it's a great strategy. A lot of
Thank
people
you.
aren't aware of that, so it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I still, I want to get it around the world, and I think it has that potential. And one
Okay.
thing too that I'll say is I was going back and forth on which game to choose to do it. And I decided to go with a game that when people search for other very popular games, and maybe once it comes out, we do an exact like another video where I give away exactly what I was going for. But when they search for other popular games, because of the theme and because of the kind, and if my wording is just right, my game will pop up. And so
Nice.
that was part of the strategy with choosing the
Okay.
game I did choose, was
Nice.
for that.
Smart. Very smart.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Let's switch gears here for a minute. Is there a product that we can talk about that's on your shelf or something you're proud about, or a
Yeah,
story?
well, let me grab
Grab
this
one of
one.
those.
This one is kind of out of the frame there, but this one is called To Do or To Don't,
Oh,
and it's the
okay.
family party game of lists, laughs, and bluffs. But I think this one is fun to talk about because um, it's from real life. I am a to-do lister. And some of the things that are on my to-do list just seem crazy. And I thought, well, it'd be funny to create a party game with things that you should and shouldn't do or that are on your to-do list. It's kind of like a little bit of if you think about bucket list items meets to-do list party game, and you have all these items and you're trying to get rid of them, like get rid of your to-do list. And it's neat, and I'll have to show you a picture of my first sample because it was very
Okay.
similar but it's smaller of this game, with the box all look like a notepad of to-do lists and things being checked out, was how the game box was. And then this game has all these little to-do list items, and then you put them all in a row and you're trying to get rid of them but also catch people to bluff if they really have done it or really have not. And so there's real life mixed with like bluffing and fibbing and things you want to do. So it's a fun twist, but um, sometimes we think we've got to stretch and be so crazy, but we can take our what we know and what we're doing daily and twist it into something fun and creative.
Nice. So, what does it feel like to have that spark of an idea and now you have it in a box in front of you and people can buy it? What's that feel like?
I love it. I don't know that until you feel it. It's hard to describe, but that satisfaction, right? Of hey, there's something there, and people see it, and I just love that I get to bring fun to other people.
Mm. So, can people buy that now? Where can they buy it?
Yes, they can buy it at a lot of local shops, but also on Amazon. You can grab it on Amazon
Okay, perfect.
for sure.
Is there another one back there you want to share too? You got quite a few
Oh
of them.
my
Grab
gosh.
another one that we could talk
Grab
about.
another. Which one looks here?
I
Which
know they all look good. Just
I
grab
know
grab a
they're
pizza
all
pie. What's the pizza pie up there? What
pizza
is that?
pie is so fantastic. This is another one where the box that we pitched with looked very similar to this box. Like we had it already. Pizza pie is one I worked on with Ed Garten, and I do a lot by theme or name of a game. And
Okay.
so this one, we had the name and the theme, and it was just like figuring out, is this cooperative? Is it going to be competitive? And we went with cooperative because it was one of those games where you could play it a few different ways. We had different
Okay.
rules and we're testing it out. But basically, you've got to be able to make two different two pizzas and two pies. You've got these pie um, plates out
Oh,
there, and you're flipping pizza slices over. There's pizza on one side, pie on the other. And so
Okay.
you have to move them around plate to plate, flip them over. You got to make the whole pizza or whole pie to win the game, to be those chefs, the
Nice.
fantastic chefs that you want to be.
And
Yeah.
where can we get that? The same thing on Amazon and
Yes,
local
it's on
stores. Where can we
Amazon,
get
but
that?
this one is also at Barnes and Noble right now, which is
Oh,
super exciting.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
we're
very
excited about
exciting.
that.
That's very cool. So,
Thank
is there
you.
one place that people can find all your products? Do you have a website?
They
Okay.
can, yeah. My website is www.4ascreations.com. And so you can
Okay.
see all of my products there. And if you click on one, it will take you to where you can buy it. But
Okay.
also on my website are any interviews I've done, any articles, podcasts, all of that, any resources to help, other inventors as well.
Okay.
So
Okay. Last thing, you won a big award. Was it last year or 2 years ago? What
it
was that
was
award?
last year, just about this time, last November. So
And what was the name of that award?
that was a Tagie for Game Innovator of the Year, which is right over
Holy
here
cow!
on the shelf. Let me grab it. So this, and I want to say thank you because I know you and your team put out an amazing email and post to help me get votes, which was huge. And that really says a lot about the community because as you know, some of the games, other inventors that I went up against, they had games with big, big, big companies. And it's really important for us just to build those relationships with other
Right.
inventors, with other community members. And I thank everyone who voted for me because it had to be a lot of votes to beat some of those other games. That's what I got to say.
And you were wearing a pretty spectacular dress that night too, right?
Thank you. I had always wanted to wear a red dress like in Pretty Woman. It wasn't quite like hers, but I thought one day, and I thought, well, if this is the day, that this would definitely be it.
So
So
we've known each other for a long time. The other day I was looking at one of them. I guess it was back in San Diego is where we first met, I think.
yes,
That
yeah.
goes by. So congratulations on everything, April. You've done such a great job. And
Thank you so much, Stephen. I appreciate it. And I don't know how often I recommend One Simple Idea to everyone.
thank you.
It's just, I mean, that's what helped get me started. And then seeing the YouTube videos. And then, it's important. I like to tell people to follow people who've gone before you, right? And follow their methods, follow their routines, and then tweak it and help it become
That's,
yours, right? And then do your thing. And I think we all have creativity in us and we all have ideas. It's just who's going to not give up, who's going to learn, right? And
that's
who's
so
going to
true.
grow, because
Okay.
that's huge too, is you've got to be able to take that feedback. You have to learn because if you
Yeah.
don't have that learning mindset, it's going to be hard to get anywhere.
All right.
So,
Okay, everybody. April Mitchell, she's a star, you guys. Follow her on LinkedIn. Find her. Go to her website. We have that information down below. And if you need a party game or something fun for your family, buy a game from her because the products are just wonderful. April, thank you so much for coming on InventRight TV. And thank you for being a shining star in the industry.
oh, thank you so much, Stephen. I appreciate it.
Okay, you've got a great product idea and you're not quite sure what to do. Or maybe you've got inventory in your garage because you were selling your product on Amazon and you don't want to continue doing it, but you want someone to help you license your idea to a company to bring it to market for you. We have a new program that's called Gateway, where we do all the work for you. We'll find the right companies and the right people to make sure your product is pitched correctly to get the licensing deal. This new program is called Gateway. If you're interested, please check it out.